Today we're in Fairfax, Virginia, and we're getting ready to check out an ultra-modern home unlike anything we've ever toured here on the channel. All right, y'all, say hello to the Elysium house from EV Build. This, y'all, is an ultra-modern home unlike anything we've ever toured here on the channel. It is absolutely spectacular. Inside, you are gonna find 5 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It does have this 3-car garage right here and this massive 16-foot Turkish pivot door. It is, I mean, just look at the size of this thing. Extraordinary. Now, this home is currently listed for $3,350,000 and sits inside of 7,820 square feet. With that, let's get inside and see what all we can find. All right, here we go. So this is the view that you're greeted with just as soon as you walk in. And it is gorgeous. Now, I do want to say a huge thank you to Ali Farhadov with Compass Realty for setting up this tour. Greatly appreciate him. You can find his information down in the description. And y'all, get a load of this door. Woo! 16 feet tall, and it is massive. Opening it up, you'd think that it would be a lot heavier. Just because of how big it is. They said it did take 3 days to install, and it's got this nice steel frame all the way around it. They said even if the house burnt down, the door still stands. I was like, oh my goodness. That's some powerful stuff right there just to hear that, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's dive into this thing. So just off of the front doorway, you do have this kind of open set of shelves, which looks pretty neat. And that, of course, stands watch over this beautiful office space. So nice big picture window, some big built-ins, and then just all of the room. And it is hopping out here today, trying to sneak in a little bit. And we've actually, interestingly enough, we are the only outside kind of videographer, if that's, I'm not really that, but you know what I mean? But that they've invited to come in and tour the home. So I thought that was pretty neat. Super thankful for that. And obviously that is not possible without you guys and, you know, all of your just support of our channel. So with that, I would like to say, if you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button, because every time you do that, it's one more builder that lets us into our home. And it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. But around the corner, this is probably one of my favorite rooms right here. And that is this beautiful powder room. You've got this crescent mirror right here with the backlighting, the floating vanity, and then your vessel sink just looks super cool. And then of course they topped it off with this black toilet with the brass inlay, like just to match it. Perfect. And then next to that, really close to the front door, is of course your coat closet. Then on the opposite side of the foyer, you do have your dining room. You can actually, it wraps around, and you can access this from the kitchen as well. You do have this beautiful tray ceiling with the accent lights, nice, fun, funky light fixture kind of matching, you know, the modern aesthetic of the home itself. And then on the opposite side, you've got the stairwell up to the second floor as well as down into the basement. Then from there, we transition into all of the common spaces, and we're gonna go ahead and get started right here in this living room. I mean, get a load of these windows, floor to ceiling, spectacular. It's like, while it is a super modern house, the windows looking out into the woods just really brings home that touch of nature, right? It almost feels like you're sitting outside, which is super cool. But ceiling, almost like a reverse coffered ceiling, which is super neat. And then you have this beautiful fireplace surround with the gas fireplace insert, and I love it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pan you around and give you a good view back into this dining room and kitchen space. And then we're gonna go ahead and step outside. Now, as we are walking through this home, definitely let me know what you like, what you might wanna change or rearrange. If this home was yours. Would love to hear about that down in the comments. Now, 10 feet of opening right here, and the doorway is 10 feet tall as well. So a lot of space out here coming out. Just a nice little chill spot, right? You've got, of course, the glass banister, and then access down into your walkout basement. And then this is actually neat. What is up above us is actually the private balcony for the master suite, which is really neat. Love it. And stepping back inside, this is kind of your less formal dining space. This is where you're gonna probably eat, you know, your everyday dinners, right? Slap that TV dinner in the microwave, bring it over here, plop it on the table, and just enjoy that beautiful view. And then, of course, check out the ceiling in here too. They've got some LED accents kind of matching. Like it's like a natural wood matching the floors, as well as it goes really well with like the brass accents throughout the home, you know, too. But then from there we transition into this kitchen, and y'all, there are some things in here y'all are going to love. I know my wife would for sure. But we'll go ahead and start right here with the island waterfall edges on both sides. It does look like there is some storage up here on the front side. Ooh, I just got a really close up of these stools too, just, you know, moving them. Look at that, nice leather too, very soft. But anyway, storage, good bit of storage, finished cabinetry, love that. Soft close. And then you have this super fun light fixture hanging down over the top of the island. I didn't even notice this, you've got a little bit of storage space. And then on this side, tons of cabinets and drawers. Oh, look at that. There's drawers inside of drawers. Then along the back wall, you have your coffee maker, espresso machine. And the one thing that I actually didn't know about, let's see if I can open it. Ooh, push to open. But this little drawer right here is a coffee cup warmer. Like if you make your cup, you gotta step away for a little bit, it just warms it up, which is super neat. Jen does that all the time. She makes herself a cup of coffee and then 3 hours later remembers. She's like, oh, my coffee's cold now. But anyway, beautiful sink sitting below this window with these super fun sconces on either side. Just look at the window though. It is crystal clear and I love it. Panelized dishwasher. Nope, this one is the trash can drawer. This one is the dishwasher. And then you have these glass pane cabinets before we transition into the range. So they did take the counter and wrap it up into the backsplash. And then on either side of that, all right, we've got a utensil rack. Let's see, is this home gonna make the all-time list? It's got like a spice basket, right? I don't think we could ask for more than that. I'll take it. But anyway, you do have your range vent, but if you're not tall enough to like reach the buttons, there is a little remote right here that you can take off and just kind of, you know, turn the lights on and off. Well, that's the fan, but there you go. So that's pretty neat, pretty handy. And then, of course, next to that is your double ovens. And then along the back wall, you have plenty of cabinets. with these nice little slide outs, and then your refrigerator and freezer. I tried to make that smooth. I dropped my paper. It was not smooth. Anyway, and then this is going to be like your pantry area with your cupboards. So you have one here and then one right next to it. And then from there, we transition into the mud room. So you've got this nice hall tree right here. Nice big bench. Little cleaning closet or a spot to hang your coats. And then from there, you transition out into your 3-car garage. So you got the single stall and the double stall. These have the silent openers, so you don't have like the big motor right here in the middle. I know somebody actually commented about that just recently and why I haven't been mentioning it, but I hadn't honestly even paid attention or noticed, and it was really just kind of brought to my attention, and then I did notice it in this home. So pretty neat. Anyway, other than that, all you have is a couple electric panels, and then this right here, it is set up for an EV charger. Then kind of opposite the little pantry area, you've got just a little prep space, a little serving space before you ultimately enter back into your formal dining room. All right, so what are you thinking so far? We're gonna go ahead and work our way up to the 2nd floor, scope all of that out. It definitely has like this floating staircase feel to it, even with these glass banisters, which is pretty neat. Then you have this beautiful light fixture here, kind of hanging down over the top of the staircase as well. Now, as we get up here, y'all wait until you see the size of this master bedroom. It is an entire suite all to itself, and it is spectacular. But you do have this large landing, kind of a lofty space just as soon as you get to the top of the stairs. And I didn't mention it downstairs. So there is an elevator shaft, and there was a doorway. I guess I'll kind of point it out as we go down to the basement. But you do have the elevator shaft, so your home could easily age with you, right? But then from there, we transition into the master suite, and y'all, the smell-o-vision. Ooh, I wish we had it, because it smells delightful. Anyway, full-length mirror, and then into the room itself, and get a load of that bed. You've got that leather headboard going from one end to the other, massive light fixture, couple just like beautiful, dainty pendant lights on either side of the bed. And then, of course, your sliding door out onto your private balcony. And then the gas fireplace. Now, this thing runs this whole side of the house. So kind of halfway down, you enter into the ensuite with this beautiful standalone soaking tub with the elegant pendant lights hanging down, massive picture window looking out into the woods. The lot itself is approximately an acre, which is pretty neat. Good bit of elbow space there. And then, of course, you have a zero threshold into your shower with a massive rainfall shower head. So it actually has the rain, the waterfall, and spray functions from this shower head. As you notice, there aren't any other shower heads minus the wand shower head, which is super neat. So you don't really have to worry about leaning over, even if you're like a super tall person, right? I have to do that sometimes. I'm not a super tall person, but you know, There are some shower heads that I've had to like bend over to get my head up underneath of. And man, what I would give. I think I've only had a rainfall shower head in like a hotel. I've never actually had one in a house before. But anyway, floating vanity, again, vessel sinks, and then you have the makeup vanity over here as well. It's almost like this cool gray starbursty. Is it textured? Yes, wallpaper. So very nice. And then of course you do have the LED mirrors as well. And then opposite the ensuite, you do have your wet bar. So whether you use that for juices or coffees or, you know, adult beverages is up to you. But it is there. And then you have your private linen closet. A full-length LED mirror, which is super nice. And then you finally transition into this closet. And this thing is gorgeous. It's like its own shopping mall, right? So you've got the dresser in the middle, nice big light fixture hanging down over the top of it. Just like a nice natural wood finish, which looks super good. You know, it's clean, it's nice, it's airy. Now I do have to say that this is probably like the homiest feeling modern home. I mean, I don't know what you think about it, but it definitely, maybe it's just the rugs and like how it's staged and designed, you know, it really has like this, you could live here feel, right? Where we've been into a lot that have been cold and harsh feeling a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I love me an ultra modern home. I'm all about it. But that there are some that are a little colder feeling. This one is not it at all. Now, the other cool thing that I like is that they matched like the bed and the rug and stuff like that. And that's throughout a lot of the rooms where there's like leather on the bed and then they've got the same leather as the trim around the rug. Pretty neat. And then into this one's closet. And then all of the other rooms are kind of on the opposite side. So you do have some coat closets and linen closets up here. Just some nice storage spaces. This one's even got like a little bench. And then next to that is the linen closet. And then into the laundry room, front load washer dryer. We've got some folding space up above it, and then even more counter space where it kind of transitions into your wash basin. Now, the cabinets don't quite go all the way up to the ceiling, but do you see the color of the cabinets? And then they matched it to the trim on the washer and dryer. What? That's just some cool stuff. But anyway, then you also have your furnace. This is the upstairs furnace, and then I believe there's some more downstairs. But then you also have an additional 2 bedrooms over here on this side of the house. And these rooms are massive. Just gorgeous. Now, there's something really cool I want to show you. You can see there is a window kind of over in the corner. I'm going to show you in the next room we go into, but it's pretty neat. Into this one's closet and ensuite. So, oh, this one's got a tub. It's kind of like a low profile tub. But anyway, definitely a feature that I have never ever seen before. I'm gonna leave that. Just leave you on the edge of your seats with that for a minute, because it is pretty neat, right? Like I'm It was one of those things that I was like, what? Like, what in the world? Who thinks of this stuff? But anyway, another nice sized room and into the ensuite. All right, this is, let's see if I can figure out how to, there we go. All right, look at that. So no screen, whoop, whoop, right? So why would you leave this door open? Well, boom, screen. How about that? And then you can shut this, leave it open. I just thought that was pretty cool. You can have your screen if you want it. You can not have your screen if you want it, because, I mean, just look at the difference, even in lighting, right? It just gets so much brighter. But anyway, you have these hidden screens, which I thought were pretty snazzy. But floating vanity, and then this is another shower, of course, with the 0 threshold. And then into its closet. All right. So from here, we'll go ahead and work our way down into the basement, which also has tons of different things happening down there. This is the second to last home we have before we head back to West Virginia. And I am, y'all, just the things that are coming up, I'm super excited. We've got a lot of things going back on the farm. If you've ever seen our farm channel or not, you know, I'm not going to pitch that here, but I have been kind of itching. It's been well over almost 2 years now since we put a video up on that thing. But I don't know, I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I kind of want to get into it, especially to start documenting kind of our next leg of that journey. So, you know, we'll see what it brings. Just keep an eye out if you are over on that channel. But anyway, down here, love this. This is like, I think they said Mexican beach pebble that's been kind of polished, which is neat. And then, of course, your ficus tree. Ficus tree comes with the home. Anyway, so you have an entire spa area over here starting with your gym, right? So you've got this tray ceiling, which just kind of wraps around. You have these inlaid LED accent lights, which is pretty neat. Actually, I wouldn't even call those accent lights because they're almost like your actual lights. But anyway, tons of mirrors, a lot of room. And then into your finished utility room. So you've got the water heater, your AV, and then you have your second furnace. And then, of course, the sauna, which is like more of a traditional sauna, which is super cool. I would love to have one of these. And then you have a steam shower, or just a shower to rinse off after you get out the sauna. Then the toilet, and another floating vanity. And then into this room. What does this make? How many? We saw 4 upstairs. This would be bedroom number 5. Nice and spacious in here as well. And then into its closet. And then this is, this doorway right here is the lower level portion of the shaft, you know, and you can obviously use it for whatever you wanted to. Until you ultimately were ready to put in an elevator. Then you've got the wine shrine. This one doesn't look like it's temperature controlled, but it is beautiful. It almost looks like it's got this Venetian plaster. I don't know if that's plaster or wallpaper. It's wallpaper. But it definitely looks super neat. I love that Venetian plaster stuff, just the look of it. It always has like this old world look. But then you've got this wet bar with another super fun kind of wavy light fixture. Tons of room for seating. And then on this side, you've got, of course, your prep sink. And then, ooh, a little mini dishwasher. That's fun. I didn't know if that was going to be an ice maker or not. But a little mini dishwasher, that's even cooler. But backside, wine fridges. And then, of course, shelving for your beverages. And then over here, kind of the same-ish setup. Not the same exact setup, but that we have upstairs. So you have gas fireplace with plenty of space on either side of it. This side's got some open shelves. Then you've got some fun light fixtures on the opposite side. Then I'll just give you a good slow pan back into all the spaces down here before we step out onto this back covered porch. And out here you could put some screens in. You could also put a pool. They actually have a rendering of what a pool would look like back here. I don't know if you saw that or not in passing. If not, I'll kind of poke my head back in and show it to you before we head back upstairs. But outdoor grill space, just very nice and shady out here. It is about noontime, right? So this is kind of the sunlight that you're going to be getting at around noon. But this is the rendering right here of what the back elevation would look like with a pool back there, which is pretty nice. All right, y'all let me know what you think about this home down in the comments. I do want to say a huge thank you to Ali Farhadov with Compass Realty for setting up this whole tour. Greatly appreciate that. And I greatly appreciate you, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to tour some of the amazing homes all across the country like we do. With that, I do hope you enjoyed the tour. And as always, my name's Timothy. I look forward to seeing your beautiful face in the next one.